And here is the first question, which I will be now sharing with Dr. Arvind Kumar. Arvind, there are controversies, there are more controversies, and controversies keep coming dime a dozen, especially from the learned people from the WhatsApp University who suffer from two phenomena. First is called PISH, PISH, pride in sharing forwards. And second, FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, these are what the experts are talking about, and everything gets forwarded. What is the danger you foresee in terms of potential harmful information when such informations float around the WhatsApp University and you get cornered by being asked questions? Arvind.
Thank you, Rajiv. Good evening, friends. First of all, my humble and sincere thanks to the various organizations who have co-hosted this program, and to all the participants, sincere thanks for taking time out and participating in this webinar. The problem with WhatsApp messages is that there is a lot of unchecked, uncensored, unverified data. Anyone, if I decide to develop a post on how to make and fire a rocket engine and take it to the moon, I can do that. I can write whatever I want. And if I have a couple of people to forward, it can go to lots of people causing the harm. So therefore, the biggest problem with this is more of misinformation. And occasionally you do have some good messages also, but they often get drowned in the sea of misinformation, and therefore it actually causes a lot of confusion, as is happening with the COVID vaccine also. Rajiv.
Arvind, that brings us to the point people generally have in mind. For so long, we used to take 10 years to create vaccines and medicines. And in less than few months, suddenly the vaccine has come. Is it really reliable? Should
Yeah.
we take it?
Okay. Excellent question, Rajiv. So the answer is that a lot of, see, this kind of virus, SARS virus, had affected human beings earlier also. There have been numerous earlier epidemics also by this group of viruses. And at that time also, a lot of work towards development of the vaccine had been done. And that data was used by the scientists this time. So that's number one. Number two, when you have an elective situation and you are doing something, you have a routine, a bureaucratic norms. So what is the testing process? Let me tell you. So when you decide to develop a vaccine, you first, what is a vaccine? First, let me just clarify. Vaccine is basically some kind of antigenic material of a virus or a bacteria, which is injected in a very safe form in a normal human being. Vaccine is never given to a patient. Vaccine is given to a normal human being to aimed at inciting the development of antibodies and cell mediated immunity in his body with the purpose of developing immunity to that agent. So you inject an antigen into a normal human being aimed at producing antibodies or cell mediated immunity towards development of resistance. So you have antigen to choose, convert that antigen into a very safe to be injected form, and then do little bit testing about its dose to be given, what method to be given, whether intravenous, subcutaneous, intramuscular, etc., etc., and then start testing whether it is actually working. Now, in the beginning, you don't even know if it's safe or not. So you check its safety on the animals. Having done that, you check its safety on human volunteers, a small number, then you go for a bigger number, and finally you go for what is called phase 3 trial, in which you go to the community, you have thousands of volunteers, you divide them into two groups. One group is given the vaccine and followed up, and the other group is given something which looks similar but is not the vaccine, but nobody knows which is vaccine and which is not, and you follow up and let these people go back to the community, so all of them get equally exposed to the virus or the whatever the agent is, and then you follow up over a certain period of time and see who develops the disease. So this is called phase 3 trial. So normally there is a lot of paper writing process, development process, grant process, etc., which typically leads to about 5 to 10 years being required for development of a vaccine. But when you have a pandemic like this, where the whole world has come to a grinding halt, so scientists used the background data which was available from the previous SARS epidemic, and a lot of bureaucratic process was fast forwarded. A lot of red tapeism was cut, and many of the trial phases, phase 1, phase 2, 3, were clubbed together to reach a point where you had the vaccine available in about a year's time or year and a half time. So January 20 was when we had this, and by January 21 it was happening. So this is how the fast tracking took place, Rajiv.
Thank you so much, Arvind. You have simplified in a very, very people understanding way. And this is actually the true nature of our professor, Dr. Arvind Kumar, in terms of explaining everything. But Arvind, let me ask you a very blunt question. People still feel that by and large, we are being used more like a medical guinea pigs, where the entire thing is not foolproof, and yet the whole experimentations are on. To what extent this thinking is valid as of today?
Rajiv, this thinking is completely invalid. Anyone who subscribes to this thinking does not have the faith in his doctors, in his scientists, and his entire medical and bureaucratic system. There is no reason for anyone to doubt this. So these, let's talk about two vaccines which are available in India. So they were developed, went through the entire process. The phase 3 trials were done. And when the emergency use authorization was given, the results of the phase 3 trial of one vaccine were already out and known and accepted by a big panel of experienced and renowned scientists who vetted it. And with the second vaccine, the trial was in very advanced stage, where after the first injection, a very high antibody response had been shown. A good number of people had already received their second dose also, where also response had been shown. And in view of the urgency of the situation, waiting the final results to come out, and again, an experimental use authorization was given, which in retrospect has been proved to be correct by the results which have come out now and have been published by no less a magazine than Lancet, where clear-cut safety and efficacy has been proved. So let me summarize in one sentence for all countrymen. Both the vaccines available and being used in India, Covishield and Covaxin, are effective and safe. Let's put this controversy to rest. Please, Rajiv.
This is very, very reassuring, Dr. Arvind. Thank you so much. But then people still feel that if they are so safe, why is it that healthcare vaccine administration has not grown beyond 50% as of today? How do you respond to that?
Excellent, Rajiv. And the reason is the huge amount of misinformation which has been done regarding this vaccine. Now, some of this was because of ignorance or other things, and a lot of this was politically motivated. Now, I don't want to go into political angle, but we know it for sure that there were lots of people who were bitterly criticizing all the steps of the government. I'll give you one example. I'm not going into politics, but this is important.
Sure.
In many countries, the presidents and the prime ministers of that country took the first vaccine. The first dose was taken by them. You have seen the pictures of President Biden receiving this vaccine on the day one when it was started. Now, this was not done by our prime minister, who said that the healthcare workers are the brunt, they are bearing the brunt of the attack, and let them get it first. Now, I think it was a very noble gesture on the part of the politicians to keep themselves out and let it be given to the group which was suffering the highest mortality. More than 1,000 doctors have lost their lives across the country. A much larger number of nurses and paramedical staff across the country have lost this life while serving the fellow patients in the, I mean, while serving the patients in the ward. So they said that let them be given. Now, instead, I think as a doctor, I feel it was a very noble gesture, but there were people who said, oh, he's not taking it because he's not sure about the safety of the vaccine. Now, let's take the other scenario. If he had taken it on the day one, the same people would have said, oh, look at this fellow. Instead of giving it to the group which is taking the brunt of the attack, this man is concerned about his safety. So these are political issues. Let's not go into political issues. As a doctor, I would say that these vaccines are safe. However, very sadly, a huge amount of misinformation has been spread, which unfortunately has been accepted by a lot of people. Medical personnel are no exception. They also live in the society and they're also, subject to the pressures, etc. And that's probably the reason why a good number of healthcare workers have not taken it. I, through this program, appeal to all my fellow co-health workers that please, if you have not taken, number one, you go take it. Number two, please become an ambassador for quashing this misinformation campaign and reach out to as many people as you can so that the maximum number of people get it. Rajiv.
Well, there is another misinformation which all the medical fraternity must take care of it. People are also thinking that only water is being injected in the name of this medicine, and this is all humbug. Arvind, would you like
I
to
mean,
respond to that?
I
Before I,
don't think I should respond to that. I mean, if that's the kind of faith you have in your medical system, God help our country.
absolutely. So therefore, now the question is,
This question needs no reply.
and that
Sorry.
itself is a very good reply, Arvind, which you have given, because I purposely wanted to raise this question so that I could get this kind of a response from a learned leading doctor like Dr. Arvind Kumar for the purpose of my audience.
I may just add one more thing that a lot of people are also talking about taking vaccine A or vaccine B. Rajiv, let me tell you, the day it started in our hospital, I never tried to find out which. A lot of people called me, oh, which vaccine is being given in your hospital. I said it doesn't matter. I have equal faith in both. Trust me, when I went to get my vaccine, I didn't know which vaccine I'm going to get. I went, I took it, and after it had been injected and I was coming out of the room, I just asked the sister there, sister, which one did you inject? She said, this is this particular. I said, thank you very much, and walked out. Even if she had said the other one, it wouldn't have mattered. That was the kind of faith I had in my system, which decided to give these vaccines. And I appeal to all the countrymen to have this kind of faith. Please, Rajiv.
I think you and I think the same way. After the vaccine was given to me, the sister later on said, "Sir, आपको ये वाली vaccine लगी है." I
Sure.
said, "Thank you very much." I never even bothered to find out.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for both.
people are still feeling that the kada, the immunity booster drugs, etc., are much better than vaccine. So if we are taking consistently all these kadas and immunity booster vaccines, what is the need for going through this vaccine, Arvind?
So I would say that I have nothing against kadha, etc., etc. Please continue taking that also. But when you have a tested, scientifically proved, effective, safe vaccine available, which the whole world is taken, kindly make use of this. There is nothing to prevent you from continuing to take kadha also. Please continue, but do take the vaccine.
But Arvind,
Rajiv.
an interesting question which had come to me was, we don't go out, nobody visits us. We are willing to stay in house until COVID passes away. Why should we go through the process of taking the vaccine? What is your
Yes.
response to such
So
kind of thinking?
I'll rephrase this. I'll answer this in the form of a question. Why do you want to impose a lockdown on yourself? And if this lockdown method was to be used as a method of controlling corona, the corollary is that the whole country needs to be in a lockdown mode like you. For this method to be used to prevent corona, as opposed to a safe and effective vaccine. Now tell me which one makes common sense, using a safe and effective vaccine, ensuring that the whole country gets it ASAP, and hoping to move on with life thereafter, not now, thereafter, instead of saying that the whole country should go in a lockdown mode just to avoid the vaccine. Does it make sense? No. If this vaccine was something very sinister, it was, causing huge problems, I would probably subscribe to that view. But the kind of safety and efficacy profile that these two vaccines have, I see no reason for resorting to that backward kind of a technique, Rajiv.
Very well said. I think it also emanates from the fear psychosis which generally people suffer because of the misinformation that has been created across.
Yeah,
And therefore, they are saying that, okay, let me not take the vaccine, stay indoors and save myself, because what they hear from the forwards received from people known to them who love them, who have given those forwards without going into the depth, have actually increased the level of fear psychosis.
so, Rajiv, again, without sounding politically motivated, which I'm not, I must say that today is 19th March. Exactly a year ago, I was giving an interview on NDTV where I was shouting hoarse about need for lockdown and that we are going in a very, very heading towards
Yes.
a dangerous situation. And I remember after lockdown as a doctor, masks, PPE kits, hand sanitizers, ventilators. What a scarcity, chaotic situation. Today, when I look back at that period, I really fear how we face that. And look at where we are just 1 year down the line, where we are exporting masks, we are exporting PPE kits, we are exporting sanitizers, and most honorably, we are exporting vaccines to over 60 countries, and we are part of the biggest alliance. What a proud moment for every Indian. Unfortunately, this proud moment has not gone down well with certain vested political interests, and they have left no stone unturned to see to it that they spread as much misinformation about it as possible to let it not become a success. And all this has water, this will cause sterility, this is a means of sterilization, this has got this animal, that animal, all every possible mechanism was used to prevent people from getting it, all aimed at achieving political goals, but in the process harming the country. So again, as a doctor, I appeal to everyone to put all these things in rest. Have faith in your medical community, scientific community, and with your eyes closed, please go and get the vaccine. This is the best you can do for yourself, your family, your community, and your country, Rajiv.
Thank you, Arvind. I would drift for 10 seconds to actually re-emphasize the tenacity of the Indians, the pride of the Indians, the hard work of the Indians, which is not only from the medical fraternity, but from all other
Everybody,
domains also,
everybody.
including the businesses, how
Yes,
they have actually converted a scarcity into an opportunity,
absolutely.
how we are the major exporters of vaccine for other world. And today we are even being criticize also for that. I think it is time to actually take pride in being Indian, and whatever is happening in front of us, we should take part wholeheartedly rather than going by the old dictum that whatever you talk about India is true and the opposite is also true. So if you want to believe negativity, you will see only negativity all around. But if you want to believe in the positivity, India is full of positive people, progressive people. Have faith in them. They mean good for you. Nobody has created vaccine to bother you with more problems and ailments. They want to treat you, and just have faith in being an Indian, and you will see wonderful results coming.
True.
But Arvind,
Very well said,
there
Rajiv.
is a connection here. These vaccines we are talking all again through the allopathic process of research methodologies. People do ask, are there similar solutions available through our Ayush practices like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani, Siddha, etc.?
So, Rajiv, I am an allopathic doctor. I only have information about these. All I would say is that I have highest of regard and respect for all the other systems of medicine. I am not aware of any such scientifically tested, proved, safe, and effective method of preventing corona being coming out from any of the systems. If they are in the process of development and the results were to come out, I will wholeheartedly and happily accept it as long as it is scientifically done and reported. But just somebody saying that I have this available without any rigorous scientific research behind it, as a scientist, I refuse to accept that. Rajiv.
Arvind, during the last 1 year, you and I have done multiple of such sessions regarding COVID problems, the treatment, now the vaccination. But then we have also seen the ups and the downs. And while in Delhi, we are thinking that we are still at a lower end, in India, at least in 5 states, things are really looking up. Now, how do you see the situation? Are you still feeling that there could be another cycle which could be a big danger for us? And therefore, it necessitates our faster, rapid adaptation of vaccine, please?
Yes, Rajiv, excellent question. This question has been asked to me in several TV interviews non-stop in the last few days.
I should
Is
join the TV
India,
too.
is India suffering from a second wave? The answer is an unambiguous yes.
Oh, God.
We are in the beginning of a second wave of corona. You mentioned some states, so there are about 10 or 12 states which are already witnessing a significant rise in the number of cases, Maharashtra being the leading state.
Leading state.
But even other, let me inform you about Delhi. In our hospital and in numerous other hospitals in Delhi where I speak to the people who treat COVID cases, the COVID wards had almost started being closed, or they were on the verge of being closed. And suddenly now those wards are having to be reopened, and the number of patients is increasing every day. This is happening in Delhi. This is also happening across the country. So therefore, I summarize that India is in the beginning of a second wave of COVID. And why it happened? It happened because over the last 2 months, everybody, and I think it will include me and you as well, everyone started thinking that corona has gone, and the three cardinal things which had led to control of corona were the corona appropriate behavior that was given a go by, and that's the reason why we are seeing a research. And it is time for us to do two things. Number one, go back to practicing that corona appropriate behavior. That's one. But more important is we should go all out for a mass ASAP possible vaccination across the country. And I actually would appeal to the government to reduce this 45 years plus 20, those comorbidities, or 60 plus barrier, and go for vaccination of any and everyone above the age of 18 years where the vaccine has been tested and proved effective. Just open the floodgates. I'm told that there are 10 crore dosages of Covishield which are lying in the stores of Serum Institute at Pune. They should be picked up by every possible government system, distributed across the country, 24/7 vaccination centers. This is our most effective, most valuable tool available today, and we must use it ASAP. So that
But
is something which is going to prevent this wave from becoming a mega wave, Rajiv.
But Arvind, good intentions being one part, the speediest actions being another part, at the pace at which we are saying, even if we open up for all, what is the earlier probable time to cover a population of 1300 million people in India?
Rajiv, out of 1300 million people, you have a huge number, which is children, which are anyway excluded from this. You have pregnant women, which is also a few crores, which are excluded. So it's not 1300 million people which need to be vaccinated, and its numbers are lesser. Secondly, it is also said that once you cross this 80% plus people having immunity, there is this concept of herd immunity where the virus
Herd
gets to
immunity.
die, it's natural. So there is already a certain percentage of people who are antibody positive because of being infected. Now, if you vaccinate in very, very fast speed, and you add that vaccinated group also to this group and take that figure to 80, 85% plus, you would have those virus dying its natural death. So I would repeat that the need of the hour is to go for maximum vaccination. Rajiv.
Thank you so much. In fact, the query which is now popping up is that when we are talking about vaccine and there are older strains and the newer mutations are coming up, would these vaccines be sufficient insurance to take care of the newer mutations which are happening? And if
So,
they are
Rajiv,
not,
the
then what is the solution?
answer is that as per the data given by the companies, many of these strains are these vaccines are effective against many of the strains. There could be some issue with some of the strains, but there also it gives you some immunity because those strains are not a totally new genome, but a minor variation in the genome where also these antibodies will cross react. Maybe the efficacy might come down, but let's presume that this will be effective and let's do what we can do. The problem is that we focus a lot of attention on what cannot be done or should not be done or may not happen. In the process, forget to do what actually can be done. Today, vaccine is available. Let's make the best use of vaccine and give it. Even after vaccine, if at all, the problem will be in a much smaller number, which can be handled rather than letting this opportunity go waste. Rajiv.
Wonderful, Arvind. I must tell you, you are the hero of the day. I'm getting fabulous response from everyone in the way you are responding. Thank you very much. People are actually conveying their thanks to you. Wonderful. But now, Arvind, now let's talk about going a little deeper on the vaccine part. Somebody has written that, okay, I've already been infected, I've been cured. Do I still need to go through the vaccine? And
Uh,
the another
Sorry.
connected question to that is, if I get really vaccinated, what is the time duration by for which I'm absolutely assured?
So Rajiv, what I'll do, these are series of questions which are asked to me every day.
Yeah.
So even without you asking, let me very quickly, like a T20, answer these questions.
I think
Very
that will be
commonly
wonderful,
asked,
but it'll be tough for me also to ask you questions later on because you'll be answering many of them
very
together.
Rajiv,
But go ahead, please. Very good.
very commonly asked question. I
Sure.
have already suffered from corona. Should I get vaccinated? The answer is an unambiguous yes. You have suffered from corona. Who knows what kind of antibodies have been produced? How, I don't want to go into details, but even in the antibodies, there are different types of antibodies. Some of them help, some of them don't. This vaccine is known to produce the kind of antibodies which help. And therefore, the answer is, I can't go into details. I'll just give the answer. Should previously infected patients get corona? The answer is yes. Should get vaccine? The answer is definitely you must get vaccine. When should you not get vaccinated? If you are right now suffering from active infection, you won't get vaccine. Get out of it, recover, take 2-3 weeks time to recover from it, and that's the time to go for vaccine. Number one. Number two, a lot of people ask this question, oh, I have got my first dose, so now I should be protected. So how does it go? You get your first dose, the antibody starts getting formed within a few hours, few days, it reaches its peak, and that's the time where 4 weeks later, we give a second shot. Many people ask this question, why this 4 weeks gap? The reason is that first shot leads to some response, and when you give the second injection after a certain gap, the body has some memory and then it rebuilds on that memory and leads to a very increased response. So after 2 weeks after second dose is the time when the antibodies are supposed to be enough to give you protection. So the question is, when do you actually get protected? The answer is you get protected minimum 2 to 3 weeks after your second dose. Till then, you are not protected. That's number one. Number two, many people ask this question, oh, if I have got vaccine, can I go haywire as far as behavior is concerned? Am I 100% proof? Answer is no. At the best reports, they have reported about 80, 82, some people say 70. Let's take a ball figure of say 70%. Okay, 70% protection. What does it mean? 70% people will have antibodies which will prevent infection. 30% will not have infection. You might ask, that means for these 30%, the vaccine is a waste. The answer is no. The phase 3 trials have shown that those 70% are completely protected, but in the remaining 30%, even if they get the disease is mild, they don't require admissions, and most importantly, Rajiv, there were no deaths reported in either of the phase 3 trials of both the vaccines in the group which got vaccinated. So let me make this bold statement. If you want to avoid dying of corona, getting vaccinated is your best option to achieve that. Rajiv.
Thank you so much. And while you were answering, and I was also reading to some of the comments and questions, people are again saying, from reliable sources, I have come to know that the doctors who got both the vaccines have died. Well, I'm sorry, you don't know those people. What Dr.
No.
Arvind is refuting, you must believe it. There are no such news. And in case you
Rajiv,
want to get scared and spread the scare, I'm sorry, you are not doing justice. Arvind,
allow me to
please.
repeat that phase 3 trials of both the vaccines have shown that in the group which was, so they had a group which received vaccines and they had a group which received saline, but similar looking, from the similar looking vial. In the group, the people who got infected, many of them got admitted, they got severe infection, and some of them died. But in the group which got vaccine, majority did not get infected, a small number did get infected, but the ones who got infected got mild disease, did not require admission, and no one died. So this is your best protection against death due to corona. Why this gap of 4 weeks? I have answered. Some people have, some of the reports have shown that if you increase the gap to 8 to 12 weeks, there is a better antibody response. Now, without going into the technical details of this, the government actually and the expert committee thought about it, but chose to keep the gap to 4 weeks for increasing the pace at which you could actually get the infection, and also for decrease. Now, if you do 3 months gap between the two dosages, during these 3 months, you are vulnerable. By reducing it to 1 month, you are reducing the vulnerability period and you are giving it faster. So the advantage is maintained and you don't lose that precious time. The need of the hour is to go as fast as possible and give it to as many people as possible. Rajiv.
How do you respond to a question where people say that in between the two shots, if some other ailment hits you, your immunity is at a lower end?
No, this vaccine does not decrease your immunity. It does not do anything to your immunity. The only thing is in between, so you get the first shot and then you get the second shot and 2 to 3 weeks pass after that. Your protected period starts about 2 to 3 weeks after the second shot. So from the time you get the first shot till about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after the second shot is the window during which you have a false notion, oh, I am vaccinated, but you are vaccinated part 1, but not yet protected. Be clear, during this period, COVID appropriate behavior is your only possibility of not getting corona. You can't rely on vaccine. Relying on vaccine will come 60 to 70% 3 weeks after the second dose. I repeat, 60 to 70% because it's not 100%. And therefore comes my second message. Even if you have received the vaccination and 2 to 3 weeks have passed, you still need to continue corona appropriate behavior because virus is there in the society and you may still have 20-30% chance of getting that virus and spreading that virus. And therefore, COVID appropriate behavior is the need till such time that every Indian is inoculated and corona is eradicated. Rajiv, another question which is coming is about diseases. I have diabetes, I have hypertension, I have asthma, I have undergone surgery, I suffer from this disease, that disease.
I'm 90 years old, I am pregnant, the lactating mother. So could you take up all these questions together and answer, please?
Let me categorical answer that age is no bar for getting this vaccination. We are allowing it today to adults, which means above the age of 18 years. Children and pregnant women are out of this ambit as of now because trials have not been conducted. Number one. No other disease is a contra. If you're a diabetic, if you're a hypertensive, you have heart disease, hypertension, COPD, anything else, you've had steroids you have received in the past, or currently you are on steroids. All these are not a contraindication. In fact, if you have these diseases and your immunity is low, you have higher chance of getting corona and dying of corona, and therefore your need for vaccine is much higher. Rajiv.
Well, Arvind, thank you so much that in a very short span you put in all these ailments together and respond to the questions, and that takes care of many of the questions that people are asking. And I'm getting questions by the dozens right now. But one
Lactating
question which
mothers
is,
are also excluded.
yeah. So this is because the research has not been carried out. It is
Yes.
not that they have been barred for any particular reason.
Nobody
Now
has
that's a
proved
good,
any
yeah,
harm there. It's just
yeah.
that it's not been tested there.
But yesterday I read in the newspaper that a mother who recently delivered had a corona shot and the baby had the antibodies.
Yeah, that's okay.
How do
But
you,
that's okay. That's mother to baby transmission of the antibody.
okay, so
Hmm.
that's possible. Fine. Now, another issue which is cropping up is the news about the blood clots after taking the vaccine.
Yeah, I
How would you
I knew
respond
it
to
was
that?
coming. So there are reports from about 12 or 14 countries across Europe where millions and millions of dosages of Covishield have been administered, and there are about 39, or maybe by today they might have been 40 or 41 cases of blood clots. Now, as a surgeon, I know that these blood clots are common in people who are bedridden, who are elderly, who suffer from cancers and numerous other diseases. Now, one thing I want to clarify, a lot of people say that Covishield has been banned in these countries. Let me clarify, it's not been banned. It's only been the administration has been stopped or withheld for some time pending inquiry. So that's first clarification. It's not been banned. WHO has categorically come out saying that it's safe and nothing has been done. Even European Medical Agency has come out categorically saying that no, we don't subscribe to this view. Now let me report to you data from our country. In our country till now, nearly little less than 4 crore vaccinations have been given, and till date there is not a single case reported from anywhere in the country where anyone has developed clotting problem after getting this vaccination. So my unambiguous message is, let's not bother about what is happening there. Let's concentrate on what has been the experience in our country. If 4 crore administrations do not lead to a single case, I don't think we should be bothering about it. Another related question, Rajiv, is about people who are on blood thinners, clopidogrel,
Ecospray or
a lot of heart patients take. Is that a contraindication? The answer is that's not a contraindication. If you are on blood thinners like Ecosprin, clopidogrel, etc., you can safely take the vaccine. The only contraindication is if you suffer from a disease called hemophilia, where you have basically abnormality of clotting factors, or you are on something called anticoagulants. Now, anticoagulants are different from blood thinners. Anticoagulants, which are given to patients who have a metallic heart valve or who have had clotting. So their clotting mechanism is made to slow down. Those are the contraindications. If you have any of those, then definitely you cannot get. You need to inform the doctor. Another question asked is, I have allergic diseases. I have asthma, I have skin allergy, I have this allergy. None of these is a contraindication. The only thing is, if you have received some injections in the past and you have had allergies, when you go for the shot, please do inform the doctor that I have a history of allergy. He'll probably take some extra precautions and maybe ask you to stay back an hour extra in the center after vaccination, but none of these is a contraindication. Rajiv.
Just to clarify to everyone, even the government of India says these are the 20 items in the comorbidity list. So you have to consult your doctors, take their clearances before you go in for your vaccination. So in case you have any problem, instead of getting all the knowledge from social media and WhatsApp University, it is better to talk to a learned doctor of yours, and he would be the right person. Right now, Dr. Arvind can give you very, very generic answers, but in each situation is different, and therefore consulting the doctor is very vital. Arvind, there is a question which has come up. Let me just, there's so many questions that I have to keep a track of that. Sunita ji has asked a question. Uh, One lung compromised since 20 years on nebulizers and now have stoma back since
not a
2 years.
contraindication. Not a
I,
contraindication.
so I'm 68 old.
I have hundreds of patients whom I have
So
removed
that's the
low.
reason I asked you this question.
No,
Yes.
lung resection. I have patients who have been had lobectomy, whose lungs have been removed, who are asthmatic, who have had lung cancer, who have infections, tuberculosis. None of them is a contraindication.
So
No
Sunita ji,
lung is a
that should actually
contraindication.
put your query
Even
to
if you are on
rest.
oxygen, even if you are on any kind of steroids or other medicines, it's not a contraindication.
Arvind, what is the probability of the new drugs coming into India like Johnson and Johnson, which is a single shot
Not drug, vaccine.
vaccine? Sorry.
So Rajiv, these vaccines, so even the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines, these vaccines, now these two have the huge problem of minus 70-degree storage thing. And J&J vaccine, well, it has to be, given, data has to be given to government and government has to approve. I would say, and in fact, there are two vaccines which are in development. And I guess that in the next few months, two more vaccines within India, made in India, equally effective vaccines are likely to come out. So instead of a imported vaccine, we'll probably by next half of this year, we'll have two more Indian vaccines. But at present, the effort should be what is available. Covishield, Covaxin should be exploited as much as possible. Rajiv.
Thank you so much, Arvind. In fact, there are lots of questions and also a comment, and I'll take one comment from Mr. Sunil Jagtiani, who says the government of India should review all these adverse reports which are coming so that it settles the queries of the Indians. Well said, Sunil. But right now, let's confine ourselves to the
Queries are
questions relating to
settled.
vaccination.
Queries are settled. Please don't fall prey to WhatsApp University. Listen to
Absolutely,
what your
absolutely,
experts are
absolutely.
saying.
Now, what is the possibility of nasal sprays becoming popular in this?
Rajiv, there right now nothing is available as far as phase 3 trial post is concerned. So what I would say today, let everybody's efforts be concentrated towards exploiting the huge power of these two most powerful tools which our scientists have made available.
Now, the question which is coming up is, can we make a cocktail of these two vaccines? Okay,
No.
Covishield and...
If you receive one dose of one, second dose also should be of the same. No mixing of vaccines.
So when it comes to mixing, another question which is cropping up is, can I have my cocktail after celebrating the first
Yeah,
vaccination?
this question
Because
is
people are talking a lot about this.
the answer is that binge drinking reduces your immunity and reduces your body's response to the antigens to be able to produce this immunity. So if you ask me what is the ideal situation, I would say abstain from taking alcohol during the period between the first dose and the second dose and the 2 weeks thereafter, that the antibodies are expected to be developed. Some people said, Doctor Sahab, एक छोटा सा कभी कभार social reason के लिए हो जाए. I said, well, a chota sa may be allowed, but that chota sa should not be too frequent, please.
Okay, chota sa should not be a patiala size. It could be
No,
just 15 or 30
never
ml.
patiala and not
And
too frequent.
absolutely. And how about smoking, Arvind? Because there are so many questions, but now
No,
you have answered many of them, so I'm just
my
bringing it
answer
down.
to smoking will not be related to the vaccine. My answer to smoking will be anyone who smokes is doing a crime for himself and his family and loved ones and must stop bang after this webinar. The last
Very
cigarette that you took before this webinar started, let that be your last cigarette. No more cigarettes. After the webinar, go pick up your box and throw it in the dustbin. Rajiv.
And personally, I beg of you, because I don't want you to become a patient of Dr. Arvind Kumar to get half of your lung removed because of smoking, please.
We have
He
7
has
minutes.
done enough of it. He's sick of it. And that was the reason he and I created Lung Care Foundation, because he was sick of seeing black lungs every day while performing the surgeries. 5 minutes left. Very quick questions. Question one. Do we need to every year take these kind of vaccine or this एक बारी ले लिया तो हो गया काम?
Rajiv, this question answer is not available because the phase 3 trial, the follow-up was few months only. So as of today, what we know is that after you get COVID infection, your antibodies produced by your body last a few months. After this vaccine, your antibodies produced last a few months. How many months, how many years they last? The answer lies in the future. When we will have that much of follow-up available, the answers will start emerging. Rajiv.
So that means that there would not, I mean, nobody knows in terms of long-term side effects of taking this vaccine also.
No, we are not talking of side effects. We are talking of how long will
No,
the
no, that is
benefit
okay.
last.
People are also inquiring about whether there are going to be
There is,
long-term side effects also.
Rajiv, let's be
People have
positive.
questions we need to answer, and I need to ask
No,
those
I beg of
questions.
them, please, there are no side effects. The only side effects are I had this injected, I had some local redness. Next day, there was a little feeling of feverishness. Many people in my unit, particularly now, let me tell you, ladies have had more incidents of fever and local pain than men, and the younger people have had more fever and chills than older people. So local redness, little bit of fever, feeling of chills, sometimes rigors, feeling of unwell, lasting a day or two or max three is all that has happened, and
Huh.
it needs frozen, rest, lot of fluids, good diet. 3 days later, you are back to work. Nothing more than this has happened. There have been no deaths in the country out of 4 crore vaccinations. Hardly 250 people have required admissions, and all of them have been able to go home the next day. These admissions were more of over precaution than truly requiring admissions. So data shows that it is safe, safe, and safe. Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you so much, Arvind. This is a very important point that you made. Data is important and not hearsay.
No, I'm not referring
Data
to
is
any
more
country
important
data.
than the emotions
Our
which we
country
just
data,
shove
not
people on.
imported data.
The Indian data, which the government is talking about, the medical fraternity is talking about, talk to the right doctors rather than say, my doctor friend has come across all this, he has sent me, this is most reliable. So whatever Dr. Arvind Kumar is talking about is all rubbish because somebody on Vastev University seems to be much more qualified than Dr. Arvind Kumar and his fraternity. Well, friends, think about it. We have so many questions, but we have a precedence. We start on time and we finish on time. Dr.
Uh,
Arvind talks about the vaccination protocol. Make sure that now and post vaccination, you follow the three aspects of SMS definitely, which is keep yourself sanitized, maintain the social distance, and wear your mask.
Rajiv,
SMS.
add one more
Arvind,
to that,
yes, please.
which is equally important, which is getting violated these days. People collecting in closed spaces in large numbers. So a lot of people have started birthday parties, this party, that party, where in a single room you'll find 30, 40, 50, 60 people, particularly air conditioned room. This is a recipe for disaster. Now, 50 people being in an open field is, I would not say 50 people should be close to each other, even in an open field. But if there is a choice between open field and a closed room is a recipe for disaster. So mask, social distancing, hand hygiene, and not collecting in closed spaces. These are 4 precautions I beg everyone to continue to practice. This will not go away in 2021. Let that fatigue not come in. Prepare yourself mentally for continuing to practice this through 2021. In the meantime, please make use of these 2 vaccines, our most potent weapon against corona today. Rajiv.
And please also make sure in a bigger city, you think that you are responsible and you may act responsible, but please point it out. Stop people so that they don't act irresponsibly. Because if they act irresponsibly, the impact could be on you or your family members, make sure that they also do not violate all these things. SMS, not gathering together. This is not a celebration time. COVID is not over. Vaccination will take many, many months, and maybe by next year, we should be in a position to get into some sizable number. So we need to really act responsibly. The
Rajiv,
last
some
one,
people have asked if this talk will be available afterwards
yeah,
on.
this,
If
I'm
you
coming
just
to
answer.
that. I'm coming to that. This talk is right now live on Facebook. Immediately after this, you can watch it, send the link to anybody. This talk would also be available on YouTube. You can share it with anyone, please, so that people who missed out can actually go through that. It's time now, the last minute, we should go in for a closer. And I must thank Urja, especially Atul Goyalji and Wing Commander Chadda for giving us all kind of support. Warrior moms, all the ladies who are concerned about their families, thank you so much for joining us. The US Embassy officials, especially Carl, Anthony, David, and Mandeep, were giving us all types of support. All the doctors from Doctors for Clean Air who have been helping us time and again with all these kind of activities, and my LCF team, especially Dr. Arvind Kumar, Dr. Bilal, Dr. Harsh, Abhishek, Matshri, Kritika, Hamid, Siddharth, Judith, Neha, Ashokji, and Dr. Gagan Deepika for all the support they have given me. And much more than that, to all my audience who've been watching it, who've been raising questions, who've been giving me all their comments, and also appreciating this time of Dr. Arvind Kumar and his ideas. Thank you so much for joining it. It's 7 o'clock exactly. Thank you so much. God bless you with the best of the health. May you remain safe all the time.